gathered, and I hope you guys are all doing really well, enjoying some warmer weather. Um, Up here in Northern California, we've gotten a few 90-degree days, and so it really gets you in that mode of, you know, looking at your wardrobe, seeing if you have enough warm weather clothing. So I was inspired to make a few shirts, and looked online for some fabrics, and there really wasn't anything that was, well, I take that back. The things that I really liked were sold out because so many people are doing sewing. And so I went back to my very thin stash, which has only dark winter and fall fabrics at this point, except for this one small piece of fabric, a few small pieces of fabric that could work for spring. And one was an embroidered panel narrow skirt that I bought for a wedding many years ago. One of those desperate purchase for a wedding finds that you buy it because it's the only thing out there that really works for you, and you kind of won't wear it again. But luckily, because this was such a beautiful fabric, I knew that there was someday, if I just wait long enough, I'll find a way to use it in a shirt. And that day came along, which was really exciting because I have the Breaking the Pattern book, and I knew that I needed some small panel pieces to make this work. And so I was looking at this and I thought, this could be it. It's kind of that perfect pattern that I like for myself, which has a little bit of, pull in at the waist, but looks like a really versatile piece. And so it actually is the best pattern for this type of thing. So I'm going to show you today how I pull that together, and how I also made a few alterations to this pattern. So thanks for coming along.
So I'm just going to focus on areas that I found confusing in the instructions. So I just wanted to clarify. So most of this is pretty straightforward. As you can see on the back center is open, ready for a zipper. But of course, I made a change on that. And then this part, I really had to work it through before I figured it out. But there's two markings on the front at the waistline. And the marking towards the center seam is where you would stitch the waistband. Can't remember if it was a 1/4 inch. It was probably 3/8 of an inch. You stitch 3/8 of an inch from the edge, positioning that edge on that mark. And then the second mark, just to the left of that, is where you would fold and overlap the raw edge. See, so you're covering up the raw edge, and then you're going to secure it with a pin, and then you're going to stitch on the inside. You're going to stitch a line downward, and that secures that pleat that also covers the raw edge of the waistband. So that's how you do it. I actually had to shift mine over a little bit because there was too much bulk with the embroidery. So I moved it over, and I thought I was going to have to make an adjustment, like add another dart, but I realized that was just getting a little too complicated, and it was better just to be simple. So I have them a little bit uneven, but I think it's fine because it's kind of an asymmetrical shirt with all the embroidery on one side. So about the zipper, the reason why I decided not to do the zipper was, for one thing, I couldn't find an invisible separating zipper that got good reviews. They were very expensive. And the other thing is I kind of have an issue with zippers. Like if I don't have to have a zipper, I will do anything that I can to avoid it. So um, that's why I did the hidden button placket in the front. And it's a little bit more work, but I don't know. Zippers always seem like I feel dependent when I have a zipper. I guess that's it. So here we are. I closed up the back seam, and then I added 2 pieces in the front for the hidden buttonhole and button strip. So as you can see, I'm showing you the dimensions here. Basically, you're adding a small strip the length of the shirt using those dimensions. And what you get in the end is a 3/4 inch wide strip that overlaps. And then the other thing was because this pattern is really built to accept a sleeve, it's a little bit broader on the shoulders than your typical sleeveless shirt. And so what I did was after trying it on, of course, I could see that it was a little bit extended. So I brought it in.
So here's the finished piece. I made a size 3. I was kind of in between sizes. And you know, what always happens is usually a little bit big. I realize I need to take that in just a teeny bit. But I was really happy with the results. Let me talk about the fabric first. This, of course, is the skirt panel. I used the front and back. And then I had a piece of, which was basically a naniiro scarf that a friend gave me. And it was such a strong color. I actually don't think I could wear it, just by itself in the front. So it kind of worked out nicely to have it on the back. And it kind of, sometimes it's kind of fun to mix fabrics like this. It of course pulls in some of the embroidery. And then I had this other piece of naniiro fabric left over from the project, and it just seemed to work well with everything. I also, of course, removed the zipper, and so this is how the placket worked out. Basically, I just added 2 pieces to the center seam and folded it back twice. And then I stitched it kind of hid the stitches around the embroidery to secure the placket down. And that seemed to work out well because I really didn't want any top stitching. So I used like the blind stitch, the hem stitch for the arms, stitching down the bias, the hand cut bias that I used, and I also did the same around the neckline. And that seemed to secure everything just enough. And then you don't have extra stitching, because I felt like that would interfere with the embroidery. But there you have it, the Solina top. It's a really great pattern, and I was thinking this is the kind of thing you could use, say for example, kimono fabric has some amazing embroidery, but because it's so narrow, you're limited on what you can make. So maybe there's a way to work that into a panel. So thanks for coming along, and I hope this was helpful for you to see how this could come together for you. And if you like this video, please select the like button and subscribe for more videos like this. Okay, hope you guys stay safe and be well, and I'll see you next time.